Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to my channel. It's your girl Charlene FX, your favorite female trader, and I'm back with another video. So this topic, the topic of this video, has been on my heart for the last few weeks, and I had to really give it a lot of thought before I came out with my words on the topic. Okay. And the reason why is because it's something that's near and dear to me. And I think some of the words that I'm going to be sharing in this video can help someone out there, okay, who are going through the same struggles that I've gone through, that I still continue to go through at times. And I hope that it can be, a beacon of hope for someone who is struggling, who feels like they want to quit, they want to give up, that they're struggling with a lot of things with their journey with being a trader, and they just don't know where else to turn. Okay, so I got a DM. Actually, I got a couple DMs about this topic of wanting to quit, and so I'm just gonna put it all together. Basically, put it all together and tackle all of them one by one. So it's easy for people to say, well, don't quit, don't quit, don't quit, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going, right? It's so repetitive, it's so cliche, like, oh, if you really want it, you're not going to quit. But in the reality of it is it's very difficult, right, to not give up on something, because especially if it's beating up on you so much, right? If you're constantly losing, you're constantly blowing money, you're not understanding what it is you're studying, a whole bunch of things, right, that comes with trading. It's easy for somebody like, for instance, in my position, to say, well, don't quit, if you really want to do it, you'll do it, this and that. So I'll tell you guys my testimony, my story about what kept me going, and hopefully, like I said, it can help you guys as well. If you're struggling with wanting to quit, if you've already quit and you're just kind of, still in the mode, something that has to do with you giving up. I hope my story can help you, okay? Now, as all of you may or may not know, up until September of 2022, I left my job as a police officer, and I decided to take on trading full time. Now, I don't just trade full time. I do have other endeavors other businesses and stuff that I do. But relatively, I trade full time, right? I trade every day, whenever I want. That's I left my job, my 9 to 5, to work my 24/7 business, okay? Because when you become an entrepreneur, guys, there's no more 9 to 5. It's 24/7, okay? You're committing to that life, all right? So I'll tell you guys a quick story about something that happened to me when I was fresh out of the academy, okay? So the police academy was very difficult for me. One of the hardest things I had ever gone through. Still one of the most rewarding, but it was definitely one of the most difficult. Tough time in my life. Even though I was in the best shape of my life physically, I was in a bad place mentally. And when I found trading the first time, which was in 2017, a friend of mine approached me with it. I was not in the mental place to accept the opportunity that was given to me. And the next time it came across my desk, which was in 2018, I was in a better position, and I was able to really absorb the information, process it, and then decide on what I wanted to do with it, which was essentially taking it on and challenging myself to try to trade. Now, I just graduated the academy, and I was in a training class after I took the exam and everything. And I had a supervisor, and he was a lieutenant, and we were outside. We were at this facility, and we were outside doing training exercises, basically like scenarios that you would experience on the job. And guys, this is South Florida. It was it was probably 100 degrees outside, okay? And you are dressed in your full gear, gun belt, everything. And they wanted us to wear our bulletproof vests. Now, it wasn't policy to wear your vest all the time. They kind of gave you the option to wear it if you wanted to. But for the training exercise, they wanted us to wear the bulletproof vest that we had ordered. Now, when I ordered my vest, the vest was somehow too small. It was too small for me, and it was very tight when I wore it. So I still brought it with me to wear because we had to have them. They told us to bring the vest. So I'm like, well, mine is too small, but I got to bring it. And I had to wait to get a bigger size, to order another one to get a bigger size, because all the vests are custom made for you. I don't know how they messed up my sizing, but it ended up that the vest was too small. So anyway, it's hot. It is so hot out there. Okay, so imagine being in essentially an oven, right? You're getting cooked outside. You're in a stressful environment because you're training, you're being evaluated, you have other supervisors all around you, instructors all around you critiquing you and everything. So it's tough. It's a high stress, situation. And now everyone else in my class is comfortable with their vest on, but I have to wear this really tight vest, and it's like suffocating me almost, So I went to one supervisor and I said, hey, listen, sir, I know we're required to wear our vests. However, my vest came in the wrong size. It's very tight on me. It's very hard to move around and everything. So is it okay if I don't wear the vest for the day? And that particular supervisor said, yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. You can take it off. Okay. So, so I took the vest off and I'm going along with the day. Another supervisor comes up and I guess he sees me without the vest on. So he calls me over and he says, hey, where's your vest? And I said, oh, I have it, but I took it off because it doesn't fit. And he says, oh, well, you need to put it on. And he just walks away, like tells me to put it on and just walks off. Right now, this is a lieutenant, high-ranking officer. And if you don't know this already, police training, guys, is very similar to it's paramilitary. So if they tell you to do something, there's no talking back, there's no questioning it, you just do it, basically. Okay. So so he told me to put the vest on, and I didn't do it. I was like, yeah, I already talked to this guy and he told me I was cool with it. So I kind of just walked off. I'm like, all right, he just left. I just walked off. So, so I go back to the exercise. So I guess that supervisor was kind of just walking around and looking at all the, because we were all separated into different sections and stuff, doing different scenarios. So he comes back like a few minutes later. I was in the middle of an exercise, and he stops everything, guys. Stops everything. Everyone's looking like, what the hell's going on? And he's like, attention, everybody, whatever. And walks up to me. And guys, when I tell you this man ripped me to shreds in front of everyone, he's like, I gave you a direct order to put your vest on. I come back here and you're still without a vest. And I said, I'm so taken aback. I'm like, this guy's like, I don't know, 6'5". I'm 5 foot nothing. I'm standing there, female, in front of this big guy, and he's like berating me and yelling at me in front of everybody. I felt this small in front of everybody, guys. Okay. Horrible leadership, because to yell at someone like that in front of an entire crowd of people is why, you know what I'm saying? You want to exert your power? Okay, great. Good job. You did that, So, so he says, why don't you have your vest on? I told you to put it on. And mind you, he didn't say it like that. He was yelling at me now. Okay, this is the simmered down version. Okay. And I said, sir, I apologize. I had spoken to this other supervisor. I mentioned his name, and he had already told me that it was okay to take the vest off because it doesn't fit. And he didn't care. He didn't care. I gave you a direct order, da 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 da, and he just went off on me, guys. And when I say, guys, I felt so broken in that moment, because I'm just like, I haven't hit the streets yet. I haven't, really experienced much. I had already gone through so much in the academy. I busted my ass to study to pass that state exam, and I finally felt like I had made it, And here I am, rookie, don't know anything, don't know anyone, and it's just my luck that the vest did not fit. I asked permission before I removed it. I was given it, and here this guy comes out of nowhere and just tears me apart in front of everybody. And I think that's the worst part about it. Not so much that he was yelling at me, but he decided to do it in front of I'm talking about, guys, there had to be maybe 70 people out there. Literally, like 50 to 70 people out there. So yeah, and then to add insult to injury, icing on the cake, cherry on top, he tells, another officer had called me afterwards, like after everything had finished and everybody was leaving for the day. They called me to go talk to like these two officers. So they pulled me to the side and they proceed to inform me that, so basically that was the last week that we had to do that type of training. After that, we were going to go out to the street and go meet our field training officers, and we were going to actually be on the street and actually start working out on the street. So that was a very exciting time, because now it's like, okay, academy, training, and then now it's the real world. You're not doing any practice scenarios anymore. You're actually out there, which was cool. Everybody's excited to actually go out and work. And they called me and they said to me, hey, we're very sorry, but you're not going to be going back. You're not going to be going out with your field training officer next week. And I said, what do you mean? Like, what's happening? He said, they said to me, no, you didn't pass today, or you didn't do well enough on your scenarios today. You disobeyed a direct order or something like that. And because of that, we're going to hold you back another 2 weeks before you can go back out. And then you're going to be reevaluated again to see if you can go out. Guys, so basically the rest of my class, because it's one class, right? The rest of my class got to move on and do their thing and get out there. And I got held back. And I knew it was him. I knew it was. There was no way, because I did just fine with my scenarios. I was, everything was fine until that one incident itself was it. Other than that, everything was fine. So also I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about. Okay, cool. So a good friend of mine at the time, we were cool. Me and her were really tight throughout the academy, and she waited for me because everybody had already left for the day. It was late at night too. It was like 8 o'clock at night, and she waited for me in the parking lot, and I walked over to the parking lot, put my bag in my trunk, and we had parked right next to each other. So she got out of her car. She walked over to me. I was in my trunk, and I was putting my stuff in my trunk. And she came over to me and she said, hey, cadet, are you okay? Because we go by last names. So she said, hey, are you okay? And I couldn't even look at her. Because she knew what happened. Everybody, people talk. So they already knew what had gone down. So one person gets called out, everybody else you already know it's something, right? It's like you get called out to the principal's office and you already know you did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? So she said, are you okay? And I just shook my head. I couldn't really look at her. And she put her hand on my shoulder to kind of comfort me. And she kind of turned me around so she could see my face. And I just fell into her arms crying. Buku crying, guys. I was so distraught. I was so, oh man, it was really, really hard for me in that moment. And I thank her every day for being there for me, because I needed someone. I needed someone at the time. If I was by myself, I probably would have been crying in my car. I'm pretty sure before I drove out, I probably would have cried in my car. But she waited for me. We were the only two people left in the parking lot. She held me until I was okay. And I just cried because I just couldn't believe, like, why is this happening to me? Why am I going through this? Why does everything have to be so hard? Why did he do that to me? Why did he yell at me like that? You know, what did I do? You know, who did I, you know, I just, all these questions, you know, and I just felt like a nobody. I felt like nothing. I felt so small. I felt like a pebble under someone's shoe to just be kicked around. And I went home that night. I don't think I got much sleep. I think I was up for the majority of the night because I was still very emotional about it. You know, I'm very sensitive. I'm very, I don't handle tough, stressful situations too well. It takes me a while to get over certain things sometimes. I'm human, whatever. I never forgot that feeling. Even now, it's very triggering right now, even talking about it, because I can still feel those feelings that I felt back then. I still feel it now. It was very difficult for me, very difficult. If you can feel it or hear it coming through this video right now, it was a tough thing for me to swallow. And I know some of you may not be able to relate to what I'm talking about, but you really had to be there to really understand the impact that had on me. Very, very, very traumatizing for me at that time, especially for a brand new rookie officer who doesn't know anything, and it was tough, very embarrassing, all that, you know. So it was that day, guys, it was that night that I said to myself, I don't think I could do this. Because going into a job that's, you're carrying a gun, you are wearing a uniform, you're in a marked vehicle with lights, and you stand out like a sore thumb everywhere you go, and you have people that like you and people that don't like you. And usually when you're called somewhere, it's because something bad is happening. Something is going down that you're going to have to handle, and it's most likely going to be a stressful situation. I didn't know if I could take that on. So I started having doubts. You know, I had my doubts in the academy because I went through a lot in the academy. But once I graduated, I thought, okay, I'm in the clear. I made it over the hardest part. I should be good. But then I experienced that coming right out of the academy, and I started doubting myself again. So now let's talk about when I actually made it to my training, my field training. I get a field training officer who is probably the worst and most hated training officer in the entire department, I gotta say. So not only do I overcome a tough academy, I get reamed in training afterwards, get held back 2 weeks, and then I go to my training, a field training officer, and I get the field training officer from hell. Like the devil reincarnate, that's who my training officer was. And when I tell you guys, I went through so much shit with this woman, I almost quit. Because of how much, I won't get into all the drama, but this lady put me through so much shit, y'all. Let me tell you. So, overcome that. I get past that. Lost a lot of weight. Hair was falling out. Depressed. Wasn't eating much. Wasn't working out. Wasn't hanging out. I just had to focus on this job because I said, Charlene, if you quit this job, what are you going to do? If you don't suck this shit up and man up, what are you going to do? Two things. Number one, what are you going to do? Number two, you're going to let them win. How do you overcome that? one of the hardest times in my life, guys, is when I came across trading. And I said, I am sitting here watching people actually earn an income from learning a skill that you can study on your own time, at your own pace, online. I have a job that pays me relatively well, unlimited overtime. So if I could just try to learn this skill, it could maybe help to get me out of this situation that I'm in here. Because if I stay in this job, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I might lose my mind. I might die from stress. So I had a decision to make. And when I was studying, when I was trading, when I was back testing, everything I had to do, guys, whenever the times got too hard for me, I always thought back to that day when I was standing outside in that 100-degree weather, getting yelled at by a 6-foot, probably 250-pound man in front of a group of 75 people. I said to myself, Charlene, no one is ever going to talk to you like that again. I never want to feel that feeling I felt in that moment. I never want to feel that feeling ever again. I never want to feel so small and have someone have so much power over me like that ever again. So every time it got hard for me, all I would do is think back to that day. Think back to what I went through then, how I felt, what that did to me, how that almost broke me. And if I could just get this could be my way out. Because I didn't have anything else to fall back on. I don't have a college degree. I don't have a bunch of experience in other fields. I'd owned other businesses and things like that before, but at the end of the day, I really didn't have much to show for it. All I had was that job, and that job was going to kill me if I had to stay there for 25 years. I wouldn't have made it. I would not have made it, let me tell you. So when I get messages, when I get, I want to quit, I can't do this, it's too hard. You haven't had it bad enough yet. If you're even thinking about quitting on something that you're even so-so at, because not everybody loses 100%. You win some too. So if you can win some, you can win more. You just got to fix the mistakes that you're making on the losses. Try to minimize them as much as you can. Because this trading game is not about 1 or 2 trades. It's about longevity. It's playing the long game. You can have a big day or a 5-figure day or whatever the case, but you got to do it all over again. That money's not going to last forever. You got to be able to do it on a consistent basis. To do something consistently means you can't quit. You got to keep going. Because if you quit, what do you have left? What do you have to show for it? Now you got to start from square one again? You got to go find a job again? So I talk about having a why, and your why is so important because it truly is. I never give up with my trading because my why was that important to me. Why can't I quit this? Is because if I do, I have to go back to that, which is what I left before. I got to go back to being treated like a nobody. I got to go back to being disrespected. I got to go back to having bosses who have power over me. I got to go back to being told what to do, when to get up, when to go to bed at night. Because your job literally tells you when to get up and when to go to bed. Because if you know you got to be up at 5 in the morning, your ass better be in bed at a reasonable hour to be able to get up. So yeah, your job literally controls you 24/7. I didn't want anyone else to have control over me anymore. So I implore you guys that are watching this video, if you cannot find something that is strong enough to you, you won't last with trading. Because trading is hard. It's not easy. It will beat you up. It really separates the strong from the weak. If you're strong, you'll stick it out. If you're weak, you'll say, oh, this is not for me. I give up. And it's not for everybody. It's not. Everybody's not built like that. Is it for everybody? No. Can everybody do it? Yeah. Yeah. But your why has to be strong enough. You got to think back to something in your life that you want to overcome, something that you want to achieve, something that, a feeling. For me, it was a feeling. I never wanted to go back to that feeling. I never wanted to have that again because I knew it was going to happen again. It's going to happen. You got a boss or a supervisor, somebody's going to get on your nerves. Somebody's going to talk to you crazy. Somebody's going to snap at you. Somebody's going to disrespect you. It's bound to happen. And you know what? I have my job to thank for me being where I am. You know why? Because if it wasn't hard, if I was comfortable and complacent, I probably would not have worked as hard as I had to get to where I am to today. Sometimes you need, excuse my language, fucked up shit to happen to you before it wakes you up, before it pushes you into your destiny to where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing. If everything was just given to you easy, you faced no struggles. You faced no, what's the word I'm looking for? Adversity. It's not going to feel as great when you achieve something because you didn't really have to work hard to get it. Take it for granted. It's whatever. It felt that much better for me knowing this is what I wanted. This is the vehicle that's going to get me there. This is what I have to do to get there. And I did it on my own. I didn't need to go crying to my boss to ask for permission to do it. I did it on my own volition. You know how good that feels? That sense of accomplishment, that sense of fulfillment. Guys, if I lost everything today, back to zero, lost everything, my house, my car, my personal belongings, my jewelry, my family, friends, if I lost everything today, I could get it all back by myself. I could get it all back. I did it once, I could do it again. That's the kind of fire you got to have inside you, that burns inside you. Like, nothing is going to stop me from achieving this, because I know if I don't achieve it, this is what I got to deal with now. All this other bullshit over here. So your why has to be strong enough. So everybody that's struggling, guys, you got to think back to something, someone, or anything that is going to trigger something in you that's so strong that you're like, hell no. I'm tired. I still got to study. I want to give up. I still got to study. I lost. I got to study. I got to get on the charts. I'm upset. I got to get on the charts. I'm depressed. Let me get on the charts. Because no one's going to come to your rescue but you. You got to help yourself. You got to pull yourself out of where you are. No one's going to do it for you. So I hope that my story, my journey, seeing where I came from, can truly help somebody. And I'm not even done yet, guys. I'm not done yet. I have a lot more that I want to do. Every day is a struggle. Every day is a battle, but I don't quit. Quitting is not even an option, guys. When something hits my desk that I didn't plan on, I look past it. It's just an obstacle for now. I think I'm more solutions-based mindset. Oh, this is happening now. Okay, I gotta take care of this so I can continue on my journey. Oh, this is happening. Let me take care of this real quick and keep it pushing. Nothing is gonna stop me. Nothing. Nobody is gonna stop me. You gotta have that fire. You gotta have that desire. You gotta have that determination, that fortitude, that willpower. But it first starts with your why. You hate your job, get on the charts. You're not making enough money, get on the charts. You don't get enough time spent with your family, get on the charts. You don't like your car, get on the charts. You want a vacation, get on the charts. You have a sick parent, get on the charts. You're depressed, get on the charts. You're tired, get on the charts. You have nothing else to look forward to, get on the charts. If it matters that much to you, get off your ass, stop making excuses, and do what you got to do. Because no one's going to do it for you. No one's going to cry and say, oh, I'm sorry, you're struggling with this. Everybody got their own problems. We all got to do it on our own. Find your why. Remind yourself of it every time you want to give up. Because you will. There's a couple times I wanted to give up. I had to remind myself why I started this in the first place. Daily reminders. This was a tough video for me to talk about. This was a tough topic for me to go into. Like I said, very triggering. But I had to share it with you guys because too many times, I get too many messages of people who just want to give up. They just can't do it anymore. They can't understand something, or they're not getting enough assistance, or they don't have support from family, from friends. Some of the most basic things that are making people quit. Some people give up for some of the littlest shit. Like, that's why you want to quit? Because your family doesn't want to support you? What? That's it? It's crazy to me. But to each his own. We all got to find our own path, our own journey. So I hope this video touched something with somebody. I hope it inspired someone for something. Just don't give up, guys. Please don't give up. Unless you absolutely, positively have to, and it's the end of the road for you and you just don't have anything left, you got to do what you got to do. But if you really want something, I won't say this, if you really want something and it means that much to you, nobody can keep it from you. It's already yours. You just got to go out there and get it. Y'all be good. See y'all on the next one.